You're finally beating the weeb allegations. I've seen a lot of truly DJ and weeb shit talking about goblins and elves. Did you watch H3 yesterday? How could I have watched H3 yesterday? I was live while he was live. How could I physically have done that? You were probably here watching me, or maybe you were watching H3 and were unfamiliar that I was live as well. Like, look, my honest assessment of this situation as it stands now is that, like, because a lot of weird, like, alt-right motherfuckers have routinely done this to VAUSH, that like his fan base is just so polarized towards anyone and everyone being like, hey, this shit's weird, man. It's like a weird thing. It's weird and gross, especially when paired up with all the other instances where you've like brought forward CP as an argument. Like it feels gross and weird and possibly pedophilic. And I think that, like, for some reason, people that get invested in content creators, they don't understand and think like, no, you don't get it. Like, this is all right-wing nonsense. So it comes across like there are so many people in this community, not this one, obviously, but in VAUSH's community that are like defending what looks to every normal person like you are defending child pornography. And I want people to not do that. Just don't do that. Like, why are you voluntarily defending Lolly? Why are you voluntarily defending, like, fucking and sucking a horse? It's very weird. Please stop doing this, okay? Don't do it. People in his community literally called you transphobic for calling out Keffels for defending him. Yes, but as everybody knows, I am obviously a transphobic person. So that's what it is, famously. I think that people don't understand that no matter what your purpose is, like no matter why you're trying to like correct a record or whatever, you are definitely, I don't know what your like genuine interest is in the matter. Maybe you understand what's going on and other people don't or something, but like to every single person, you are literally looking like you're defending Lolly, because you kind of are. I don't know what else to say about it. What on earth is Lolly? Lolly is like a style of animation, specifically very popular in Japan, where the characters are little girls, okay? Like little children. It's just drawn child pornography, child sexual abuse material, basically. Lolicon literally means pedophile in Japan. Yeah. And yeah, nonce cartoons is a good way to describe it. Huh? Why do you know about it? What do you mean? Why do I know about it? I'm an extremely online individual who routinely sees every different kind of mental illness on a daily basis. I am on the receiving end of like anger from probably one of the communities that almost always is like routinely shitting on me are people who love Lolly. Like it is literally a rule, okay, in this community, is that if someone is on the timeline calling me like a cockroach or something, or talking about how like my Turkish background means that I'm like hairy, greasy, disgusting, gross, like all those like 4chan check marks, that means that they're most likely into Lolly. And we will do it sometimes. We'll click on their profile immediately. It's like they're defending Lolly. Almost always. Lolly Groiper 826. Wow, Hasan, you are such a rich grifter every time. Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of people following Debate Bros are just not that reformed 4chan weirdos. I think in some ways, yes. It's gross and it's weird and I don't understand it. And you should probably stop debating those things. It's like one of those things where it's like you're just doing yourself a disservice if your goal is to basically make yourself look, if your goal is to make yourself look really, really weird to like and incredibly toxic to the broadest community, like you're not showing that you're ethically or morally consistent at all. You're just showing that you're gross. You keep trying to say that because there were non-Lolly images in there, it's perfectly okay. He has two self-admitted Lolly arts in there. Yeah, it's like, dude, you fuck one goat and then you're known as a goat fucker, okay? Or what the hell? That's the same vibes. Come on, look at all the times I haven't fucked a goat. I think it's odd to already have a porn folder on your computer, but I guess a lot of you motherfuckers are crazy. A lot of you motherfuckers are crazy and have that sort of shit. Like you're real gooners, okay? What's a goon to a goblin is the question I have for you, okay? What's a goon to a goblin is the question here. And the answer is like it's a lot apparently. If you're a gooner, goblins and gooning goes hand in hand, as a matter of fact. So you have a fap top. I jokingly call my personal laptop a fap top. I don't have like actual pornographic material saved on it. I have not downloaded porn since I was like 13 and having to download porn because I lived in fucking Turkey where the websites were not accessible. So I had to go on Aries or LimeWire or FrostWire and all these like fucking peer-to-peer torrent sharing services. And then I would like download stuff. And then half the time it was the same porn anyway. It was just an awful experience. And I haven't done that in years. And that was only because I just did not have access to it, right? The PSP was a goon machine, low key, yeah. But that's it. That's like, I bet you had that Maria Ozawa in your PSP. Wait, is Maria Ozawa the Nuru massage? Oh my God. I think you just unlocked a memory in my brain. If that's what I'm thinking of, I think I literally did have that. That was the classic, the Nuru massage one, I think, right? Oh my God. Was it that? A core gooner memory has been unlocked. Wow. That's beautiful, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reminding me of that. It's like one of those things that I've just like forgotten about. Anyway, realizing that porn is legal in the US and easily accessible online literally changed my life. Yeah. It's not like I'm some kind of weird, a Puritan or anything, right? Like, by no means am I a puritanical person, especially when it comes to sex work, especially when it comes to porn. I'm a defender of not gooning necessarily, but like having a healthy relationship with sex and masturbation and whatnot, and also even the consumption of pornographic materials. But there's also, there's definitely some stuff that's like, a little out there, a little out of pocket, little fucking, maybe you should be kept in the pocket, right? You didn't need to download it into your 20s, Lemafea. You dated one of the girls in the videos. Okay, that's also fair. But to be fair, I had never watched one of her videos before I hooked up with her. He's lying. He downloaded his porn. My girlfriend. Not sure why she's coming at you like this, but she's a big fan, and I thought I'd out her malice to lessen her chances of ever getting with you. Okay, first of all, that's not going to happen regardless. And secondly, once again, I am incredibly honest. Too honest. I routinely get hit with TMI when it comes to this sort of thing. So it's very odd when people say, you must be lying about this. It's like, I literally tell you what kind of, when I find like a particularly cool porn video, I will literally tell you. Okay. Why the fuck would I? Yeah, I'm ran through. Okay. I'm ran through. I'm used goods. I don't give a shit. I'm an open book when it comes to this sort of thing. It's like an odd situation. My thing is just don't defend it. And I say this as basically like I'm basically a letterbox reviewer for porn, right? But this is too much, way too much. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is like I think a lot of people also are into like weird stuff, maybe like furry stuff, or maybe some other shit that is still odd, but like not the same as lolly, I guess. And that's why they think like, oh, I'm under attack here. You know what I mean? Like I'm being criticized. I'm being attacked. And then they rush to defend a lot of the stuff. And I think it's because, yeah, I don't know. It's just like an extremely online predicament. And people who are extremely online are into, I guess, some of this like gross, weird stuff. For that reason, there is like a lot more momentum than you would think. That comes across as confusing to many who are looking at this and going, why the fuck are so many people defending this kind of stuff? Like, what's happening? Am I just like surrounded by a bunch of lolly defenders? What the fuck's happening? And yeah, that's a weird situation overall. Where do you draw the line? Just curious. Furries are low-key weird in my opinion. Harm. I draw the line at harm. I draw the line at like people being weird. It's I have call me the Supreme Court of the United States because I'll know it when I see it, right? That is a literal legal designation that is from a Supreme Court decision that found out that porn is still protected under the First Amendment. However, there is like degeneracy that goes beyond it. I think blood, gore, those sorts of things are not often protected by the First Amendment. There's like obscene materials. And when asked, what do you like, is there a clear-cut definition of obscene materials? I think the Supreme Court justice decision was, I'll know it when I see it. So I definitely have that same approach as well. Having said that, I think that if you were to have like the broadest approach, it's more like consenting adults, or a depiction of consenting adults. And I say this as a massive anime fan. I think it's like one of those couple things. Like, I love Japan. I'm a weeb. You guys all know this. It's shameful. Took me many years to come out of the weeb closet. And things that I don't like about anime or Japanese style videos and whatnot, like Japanese adult video, for example. Javs I can't watch. One, because the penis and the vaginas are censored. I think that's weird. But also, more importantly, Javs have just a woman not having a good time almost always. I don't know if it's deliberate. Like, if I were to describe Jav to people, it would be two people kissing for the first time in their entire lives. Not like each other. I mean, like, literally first kiss territory, which is always weird. And then, like, it always feels like two people that have never fucked and have never kissed, never done any like physical contact to one another, or anyone else for that matter, doing it for the first time ever. And I'm always like, this makes no sense to me. And then after that, it's always like very creepy. And I mean, the plots are phenomenal. That's like the one thing, I guess. They go really heavy on the plot. Like, it'll be like 65 minutes of like plot, followed up by 25 minutes of like a dude in the most liberal ways, I will explain. Just the worst looking dude you've ever seen, tickling the nipples of a beautiful woman who is just straight up not having a good time. And then another 65 minutes of the worst kissing and fucking you've ever seen in your entire life. Where, once again, the woman is having straight up not a good time at all. So I don't really understand why people enjoy it, but more power to them as long as they are consensually, making this as two consensual adults. That's one of the aspects that I don't appreciate about, I guess, Japanese culture, Jav specifically. The other thing I don't appreciate is obviously lolly and how like young, even if the women are like there's two different types of like anime depictions of women that are weird, right? You either have like a woman who looks like is drawn like a 25-year-old, okay, that is very deliberately told to the audience is literally 16, by the way. And you're like, why did you say that? You did not have to say that at all. And they do this for guys too. Like JoJo is a funny example of this, where we make fun of this, where like all the JoJos are like, I think Jotaro Kujo is supposed to be like 15, right? And part of that is because, you know, obviously like some of this anime and manga is for kids, okay? And that's part of the reason. Shonens are obviously for young boys, right? Yeah, Baki is also supposed to be like 15, I think, which is so funny. And that kind of stuff is just like so weird. It's like, why? Why are you 6'7", 245 pounds, okay, absolutely peeled? You look like you've been smoking for the past 10 years, and then like the anime depicts you as the anime will tell you openly that you are 16 years old, and it's like, what? Why? Just don't mention it. You know what I mean? Same thing with a lot of the female characters. And then the other side of it that is even more weird, because this side of it is like more manageable, I guess, where it's like they'll be like, yeah, this very clearly adult drawn woman is actually 17 years old. Make no mistake, we will keep repeating that she is 17 years old. And it's like, why did you do that? That's weird. That's a weird thing that you keep repeating for no reason. Like Zelda is a great example of this, where they'll always be like, guys, remember, Zelda is 17. Do not forget this, okay? And it's like, odd. Okay, fine. Weird. And then the other way worse version of this is when they like put little girls like that are drawn as little girls, and then they'll be like, that's a 3,000-year-old dragon. No. That is an absolute fuck no. Don't do that. What the fuck are you saying? You ain't fooling nobody, okay? Why? Why are you saying that? Yeah. Studio trigger equals the lolly stays. Yeah. Literally, the Cyberpunk anime was phenomenal. except for that one part where they were like, this is a baby robot and she's known for being horny. And you're like, why did you do this? There is no reason to do this. Who is this for? Like, what are you doing? It is a weird thing that you're doing. Please stop doing this. Please. I don't understand it. Okay. No, it's not small women exist. Don't do this. You know, I'm not like, I'm not one of those fucking weirdos, like one of those weird rad libs who's like, if you think Ariana Grande is hot, you're a pedophile. Like, I'm not one of those people at all, right? But having said that, I mean, these are very clearly depicted as children. Like, that's crazy, right? Wait, what is this? I mean, isn't it part of the cyberpunk theme to highlight the point of the perversion? Guys, I'm not saying you can't have like actual pedophilic characters in a fucking movie or art. Of course you can. The point is that it shouldn't be promoted as like a positive. Like, it's the Hisoka dynamic, right? Bro, you're selling t-shirts with this motherfucker on it. You know what I mean? What the fuck? You got a pedophile on the t-shirt. What's happening? Why'd you make the pedophile so cool? That's weird, man. Why are you doing that? And I love Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter. Okay? I'm a fan of the show, but it's like weird that they made the pedophile cool and like not even directly a villain. You know what I mean? The problem with that is then you got motherfuckers going, Hisoka is not a pedophile. Come on, dog. Don't do this. He's like a combat file or whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. He's like a straight up groomer pedophile villain / anti-hero / still villain, but also not like definitely bad. Okay? That's the way they make it. Liking Hunter x Hunter after admitting they got a pedo as a main character is your worst take. Why are you defending pedophile characters? Wait, not me. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not defending it. Did you see Ethan say Hunter x Hunter doesn't have weird sexualized shit and it downed on him? Oh, Hisoka? Yeah, Hisoka is a fucking straight up pedo. He's a pedophile clown. It's just odd because when you make a character like that and it's not like supposed to be layered but complicated, but then shows you that the character is bad, you all of a sudden have motherfuckers being like, I'm going to dress up as the pedophile clown for Halloween. I'm going to go and buy merchandise with the pedophile clown on it. That's weird. There's a weird thing. What are you doing? I mean, people dress up as the It Clown and plenty other straight villains. Yeah, I think there's a difference there. It's about, like, everybody knows the It Clown is a villain. Hisoka is not like a villain in the same way. That's the whole point. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, obviously, when you play Grand Theft Auto, you're not like actually killing cops or robbing, or stealing cars. You know what I mean? Like, the distinction there is like, yeah, putting a villain, dressing up as a villain is very different. Dressing up as there's like an obvious villain in a scary movie is like very different. Griffin from Berserk, that's another one that's like odd, but at least Griffin is more of like a complicated character where you're supposed to feel like he's a bad person. Hisoka is not like a direct villain. He's an anti-hero, which is why it's fucked up. Is Griffin a pedophile? Well, Griffin is like the manifestation of pure evil. So it's a weird thing to compare. Like, everybody understands that he is like a purely villainous, evil fucking a demon. Okay. All right. What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? We gotta hold up. I gotta give Will his glasses, but I'll be back in 1 second.